Do you know which is the smallest bird capable of a non-stop transatlantic flight? It's the ruby-throated hummingbird. In the realm of nature's tiny wonders, the ruby-throated hummingbird, or Archilochus colubris, holds a special place. This iridescent creature, with its emerald green feathers and brilliant ruby throat, is the only species of hummingbird that breeds in eastern North America. From the forests of Canada to the swamps of Florida, these birds fill the air with their rapid wing beats and delicate chirps, adding a dash of magic to the landscape. Despite their small size, roughly 3 inches in length and weighing less than a nickel, these birds possess an incredible strength and resilience. Their wings, beating up to 53 times per second, allow them to hover in mid-air, dart from flower to flower, and even fly backwards, a feat unmatched by any other group of birds. But what's truly astounding about these birds is their migration. Every year as the seasons change, the ruby-throated hummingbirds embark on an incredible journey. They travel thousands of miles from their breeding grounds in North America to their winter homes in Central America. Imagine this, a bird, no larger than your thumb, crossing a distance equivalent to over 18,000 football fields, all in one go. This includes a non-stop flight over the Gulf of Mexico, a journey of 500 miles that takes approximately 20 hours to complete. Now, isn't that something? It's not just their size or their flight that makes these birds fascinating. Their vibrant colors, their agility in the air, their role as pollinators in the ecosystem, all of these aspects contribute to the allure of the ruby-throated hummingbird. But like many of nature's wonders, these birds face challenges. Habitat loss, climate change, and human activities all pose threats to their survival, yet they continue to thrive, reminding us of the resilience of nature. These remarkable birds undertake an incredible journey each year, traveling thousands of miles between their summer and winter habitats. As we delve deeper into the world of the ruby-throated hummingbird, let's take a moment to appreciate the extraordinary feats of this tiny marvel. Male ruby-throated hummingbirds are quite the performers when it comes to attracting a mate. These tiny avian acrobats employ a series of intricate aerial displays to catch the eye of potential partners. Imagine a bird, no larger than your thumb, swooping and diving in the air with the precision of a seasoned pilot. The males flash their ruby-red throats, a feature unique to their kind, in a dazzling display of color and agility meant to enthrall the females. However, it's not all about the males. The female ruby-throated hummingbirds play a critical role in the continuation of the species. Once a female has chosen her mate, she sets about the task of building a nest. This isn't your typical bird's nest, though. The nests of ruby-throated hummingbirds are marvels of natural engineering. The female hummingbird meticulously constructs a tiny cup-shaped nest using plant fibers, bits of leaves and bark, and the delicate strands of spider silk. This last material gives the nest its elasticity, allowing it to expand as the chicks grow. The female lines the nest with soft materials like feathers and moss, creating a cozy cradle for her future offspring. After laying typically 2 eggs, no larger than a coffee bean, the female takes on the responsibility of incubating them. The male, having played his part in the courtship, does not participate in the incubation or rearing of the chicks. His role in the reproductive process ends after mating, leaving the female to single-handedly ensure the survival of their offspring. The chicks hatch after about 2 weeks, emerging into the world as tiny, featherless beings. Over the next few weeks, they undergo a remarkable transformation, quickly growing feathers and learning the skills necessary for survival. Mated pairs of ruby-throated hummingbirds work together to raise their young, with both parents taking turns incubating the eggs and feeding the chicks. This collaborative effort ensures the survival of their offspring and the continuation of their species. It's a testament to the resilience and adaptability of these tiny yet awe-inspiring creatures. You might be surprised to learn that ruby-throated hummingbirds have incredibly high metabolisms. This tiny jewel of the skies is a marvel of metabolic machinery. Their heart rates can reach up to 1,200 beats per minute, and their wings can flap at a staggering 53 beats per second. Imagine having to move your arms at that speed. Beyond the flurry of activity that we can see, there's an even more frenzied world happening within their tiny bodies. To fuel their high-octane lifestyles, ruby-throated hummingbirds consume roughly half their body weight in sugar each day, primarily from flower nectar and the occasional sap from trees. But it's not all about sweets for these little guys. They also need a healthy dose of protein and nutrients, which they get from small insects and spiders. Yes, you heard it right. These delicate beauties are also fierce predators, snatching unsuspecting bugs right out of the air. With such a high metabolic rate, they are almost always just hours away from starving. This necessitates them to feed frequently, almost every 10 to 15 minutes, and visit up to 2,000 flowers a day. Now that's a busy schedule. During the night, or in times of food scarcity, hummingbirds enter a state of torpor, a deep sleep-like state where their metabolic rate is drastically reduced. This allows them to conserve energy when food is hard to come by. It's like their version of hibernation, only done daily. Their high-energy lifestyle, while awe-inspiring, also makes them vulnerable. Changes in flower blooming times due to climate change, habitat loss, and the use of pesticides can have devastating effects on hummingbird populations. But that's a topic we'll delve deeper into in our next scene. For now, let's marvel at the persistent fluttering of the ruby-throated hummingbird, a creature whose life is a non-stop flurry of activity. Every beat of their wings, every sip of nectar, is a testament to their incredible survival strategy. Their high metabolism requires them to feed frequently to sustain their energy levels. Despite their resilience and adaptability, ruby-throated hummingbirds face numerous threats. These agile, iridescent creatures, though small and seemingly tireless, grapple with challenges that could potentially tip the balance of their survival. Top on the list of these threats is the loss of habitat. As forests are cleared for agriculture, urban development, and logging, the ruby-throated hummingbirds lose their nesting grounds, feeding sites, and migration stopovers. Imagine trying to complete an arduous journey only to find that your usual rest stops and final destination no longer exist. That's the harsh reality these birds face each year. The use of pesticides is another major threat. These chemicals, often used in agricultural and residential areas, not only kill off the insects that hummingbirds feed on, but also contaminate the nectar they sip from flowers. This can lead to a range of health problems, including weakened immunity, impaired reproduction, and even death. But all is not lost. There are concerted efforts to protect and conserve the ruby-throated hummingbird. Conservationists, researchers, and even everyday citizens are stepping up to make a difference. One way they do this is by creating hummingbird-friendly habitats. This involves planting native flowering plants that provide nectar for the birds. These gardens offer crucial feeding grounds for hummingbirds during their breeding season and migration. Another important effort is the reduction of pesticide use. By advocating for organic farming and gardening practices, we can protect the hummingbirds' food sources and safeguard their health. Conservationists are also working to protect and restore the hummingbirds' natural habitats. This includes preserving forests, maintaining native plant communities, and establishing protected areas along their migration routes. Education is a powerful conservation tool as well. By raising awareness about the threats hummingbirds face and what each of us can do to help, we can inspire a collective effort to protect these fascinating creatures. Conservation efforts, such as providing habitat enhancements and reducing pesticide use, are crucial for ensuring the survival of these tiny marvels of nature. As symbols of beauty and resilience, ruby-throated hummingbirds remind us of the wonder of the natural world. Their iridescent green feathers and shimmering ruby throats are a testament to the magnificence of evolution, a symbol of the intricate and delicate balance that exists in our ecosystems. These tiny marvels of nature, with their rapid wing beats and long migratory journeys, are not just beautiful creatures to behold. They play a significant role in our ecosystems as pollinators, transferring pollen from one flower to another, fostering the growth of countless plant species. But their habitats are under threat, and their existence hangs in the balance, teetering on the edge of a fragile ecosystem disrupted by human activities. The ruby-throated hummingbird is a symbol of the interconnectedness of life on Earth. When we protect their habitats, we're not just preserving the lives of these tiny birds. We're safeguarding the biodiversity of our planet, maintaining the delicate equilibrium of nature. So, how can you contribute to the conservation of the ruby-throated hummingbird? There are numerous ways. You can start by planting native flowers in your garden to provide food and habitat for these birds. Avoid the use of pesticides, which can harm hummingbirds and other wildlife. Support local, national, and international organizations that work tirelessly to conserve wildlife and their habitats. Get involved in citizen science projects to help monitor hummingbird populations and their migration patterns. Remember, every action counts, no matter how small it may seem. Whether it's planting a single flower or making a small donation to a conservation organization, your contribution can make a big difference. In the grand tapestry of life, each thread is vital. The ruby-throated hummingbird is one such thread, a dazzling jewel that adds color and vibrancy to our world. Let us work together to ensure that the hummingbird's melody continues to echo in the wilderness, a sweet song of resilience and survival. Please join the efforts to conserve these amazing creatures. Your support can make a big difference in the survival of the ruby-throated hummingbird.